Here we go. What is up, guys? You all ready to see one of the sickest, craziest things that I think is probably the biggest opportunity for us in the GHL GoHighlevel market area community, plus AI coding. Okay, because here's what we're going to do today. We are going to dive into the GoHighlevel version 2 API. All right. And I'm going to dive in as if this, because if you guys could see the opportunity, I believe, right? I have a picture of my beautiful wife on my iPhone. Do you guys know why the iPhone exploded completely bigger than anything else? I'll answer it because it's a rhetorical question, but
simplicity.
Right? Simplicity.
Cold.
Right? But here's what it is. Apple, this phone, you could take this phone and you could turn it into a Bic lighter and you could hold it up at a concert for $1. Right? Well, that means they have what's called an app marketplace on the Apple Store, right? So that means developers like you and me, every single one of us in here, can make an app and then instantly it will be in the hands of millions of people. But now we're in the GoHighlevel community and we're talking about, we're getting in a niche of a niche audience. So guess what we could do? GoHighlevel has enabled us to, one, connect to the APIs, but two, there's something better that they did. Everybody is complaining and like, oh, the API is super hard. And I promise you, I am so glad that everyone thinks it's hard. They're like, oh, it's super hard. It's super hard to connect. oAuth 2 is super tough. How do I do it? Like, oh, man, once you see the power in what this thing could do, you're going to understand. There's easy ways to connect to the API with a simple little API code. That's what everyone wants. That's easy. However, we're going to show you how to actually, what the power of this is. Because GoHighlevel, how many users do they have? Right? How many agency users does GoHighlevel have? Plus, and how many?
350,000 or something?
350,000. And then each agency owner has users, you know what I mean? It's wild. So here's the thing. Imagine if you could build a single little software and instantly your software is in front of all those users inside the GoHighlevel Marketplace. That's what they've given us the ability to do. And I promise you right now, here's what's crazy. The GoHighlevel Marketplace it's brand new. It's not like Apple just came out. You know what I mean? We didn't ride that wave and we could build the first Bic lighter app. We're not there. But guess what? The GHL Marketplace has just now started. There's less than 4,000 or 5,000 apps total. It's that's zero. You know what I mean? It's compared to how many people are on this thing. We have instant customers for our software with this thing if you build it right. And so I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna dive into this bad boy because this thing is legend. All right, so here we go. So if you guys didn't know, check out this. What is this? What does this even mean? Why is this special? All right, if you guys see how I have my logo at the top of this brand? This is my account. This is Aspire Builder Pro. All right, I pay $800 a month for this. Actually, before the call, I had to tell my wife, babe, go put money on the card that charges this because the account isn't paid for, right? And because I had to pay for the second month of GoHighlevel. $800. Why is mine $800? Because I have the white label version plus the HIPAA version because I have doctor and nurse clients, right? Normally it's only $500 and then you could put your own logo up here and then you could start selling this software as it's your own. And I highly recommend you do that. One is because you're going to get the software eventually for free as long as you have customers because you're going to build websites. I build hundreds of freaking websites now for all my little softwares that I code up. Well, this is free for me. I could build infinite websites for $500 a month for this software. And my users are going to pay me every month to do this, right? They pay me. I have one customer. They don't pay $10. They pay a little bit more than that. It's just they paid through Stripe. So that's just my ego talking. Okay, so back to this. Why is that important? Okay, so on the left-hand side, you see over here how it says App Marketplace. And then right under that, you see how it says Funnel Mapper? Look, if I click on Funnel Mapper, look at this. Check this out. Look at this. See if it loads any second now. You guys see this? All right, this right here is the funnel mapper. If you guys see, this is in the left-hand side of my GoHighlevel account. The left-hand side of my GoHighlevel account. I'm able to come on here. I can click on this, right click. Look, you can right click and make things do stuff. What's up? Look at that. Add social. Look at that. Look at social media campaign. We can map out a funnel. We can put webinar. Look, webinar. Yeah, we could do email campaign to webinar. We could do a little like, you know what I mean? Like you could build everything. You have little simple templates. Look at this. This is all a software that the AI coded up. And guess what? Do you guys think a software that builds funnels and websites, they would need a funnel mapper? Right? If you guys were on the last call, I had a person that said, yeah, I'd pay $7 for this. Well, guess what? Inside GoHighlevel Marketplace, guess who's selling, about ready to sell? All right, this is my app dashboard. All right, I have 23 installs. But if you look at the funnel mapper, right now the funnel mapper is in review. I have an app that's going to be ready for agencies and sub accounts, and I'll explain to you as we go what that means. In review right now, called the funnel mapper. I made my own app. Over this last week, I made my own GoHighlevel app. I have a couple other ones that are coming soon, and I'm making my own apps. And here's the thing is, it's combining AI coding, right? AI coding, like this is coding with AI. I'm doing AI coding with GoHighlevel, and all of a sudden I have distribution, and instantly I could expand my software inside GHL for my users to make it way better. I'm building my software so my software is unlike anybody else's. Because guess what? I had this little form submission thing that I built too. That's a little software that my client needed. She needed to be able to see all her forms in one single location. I'm going to show you guys that in a little bit when we actually connect the easy version and the hard version of how to do this. All right, so check this out. All right, I have a blog that I had AI write for us. All right. Don't judge me. All right, easy. I want to write blogs. So we have AI do it. All right. So setting up the GoHighlevel version 2 API. Okay. This is a little document that I have for all of us so we can use and we could set it up. All right. You can see in my AI team, I could use private. I could set it to be public so anyone could use this. I could also set it to be a custom domain because my AI team now has custom domains that you could connect a custom domain to. And now I could share this and you guys can use this on my custom domain. All right. So you guys can go read this along and you guys could follow along because I have some tools that I coded up that you're going to need in here. All right. So today I'm going to hit you guys with a fire hose. Okay. So this is going to be replayed on a replay. And I expect you guys by the end of this class, hopefully within a week, no joke, I expect you guys to watch this and create something. Okay. This isn't a class that it's like, hey, I'm going to watch it and I'm not going to do anything. All right. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to create something and I'm going to show Jeff. All right.
So you can sell in the marketplace even if you're not don't have an agency account.
You absolutely can, Troy.
Okay.
All right. So here's what's cool is the GoHighlevel Marketplace. It's marketplace.gohighlevel.com. All right. In here, I link down at the bottom. I link the GoHighlevel documentation. And there should be all right, there's not a link for the GoHighlevel Marketplace in this blog. All right. So I'm going to say, can you add the link for developers to sign up also for the marketplace? All right. And basically you're going to get signed up for the marketplace. It takes a couple seconds. That will update so you guys can see the updated one. But essentially this is going to update. And you do not need you don't even need a GoHighlevel account. Actually, inside the GoHighlevel app in here, the marketplace, if you go to testing, Troy, you could hit create app test account and you get a free enterprise account with this. You don't even need to pay for GoHighlevel if you want to develop on this.
Huh.
Look, app test accounts are free high-level accounts that include trial access to enterprise version of the platform. That's the $500 version of the platform. But this is only for testing. So you can't you can't go build
Can't sell.
you can't sell it, right? But this is, you can build, if you want to be a developer, you could build on here. All right, and here's the cool thing. We're going to go through the 2 different processes of why you would want to do that. So one, you get signed up. All right, this is going to update. It's going to tell you a button, hopefully, to sign up. So there's 2 different processes to actually build apps. Okay. There's the private integration way, which is the easy way. All right, and what do I mean by the easy way? When we're talking about apps on the GoHighlevel Marketplace, what we're actually talking about is if you go to Google or you use like ChatGPT to do searches now. All right, if you type in GoHighlevel and you type in API V2, all right, there's API documentations. All right, so what does API documentations mean? That means everything that you can do inside your GoHighlevel account, 90% of the things that you could do inside your GoHighlevel account, you could also do inside an API. All right, so that means, can you view your contacts? Yes. Can you make a contact? Yes. Can you delete a contact? Yes. Right, you could do all of those things. Todd wants to join. That's my man. All right, I'm going to pass over somebody as a co-host so that you guys can casually let anybody in as anybody joins. All right, boom. Welcome to class, Todd. Todd was on another class actually when we were using this funnel mapper inside his white label training and talking about his King's Contact Pro, which is his white label version of GoHighlevel. So how was that, Todd? How was that class for you, man?
Man, that was incredible. Thanks for sharing that. That really provided value for our clients, man. They are loving it. Got a lot of good feedback. So appreciate that. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, now we're actually talking about the class of how you actually connect to this, the nerdy stuff behind the scenes. Okay.
Nice.
So I'm glad you joined. All right. So here we are. So we're inside this, Troy. You can totally get a free account from these guys. Like, you don't even have to pay for it, which is awesome. All right. So from here, you can also see it says developer partners. I don't know how to get my name in here, but that personally, like, you can see there's only like 2 pages. Like, I don't know how to get my name in here, but I want my name in here that says my AI team, right? So I could be a little developer. How do I apply for this? All right. I don't even know. All right. But I'm going to make apps until I magically show up in this thing. All right. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. So here's what it is. Now we go to the app dashboard and you can see we can actually create an app. All right. Well, all these apps, anything that you want to do and GoHighlevel, well, you actually have to connect to in what's called the API. All right. So if we go into the API documentations, super nerdy stuff. I'm so glad you guys are here showing up. How cool. Okay. So look, if we map out this, I'm really glad that we have a mapper. All right. A funnel mapper. All right. If we actually map out this entire process of the oAuth process, there's 2 processes. Okay. There's 2 processes. One, there is the oAuth process where you actually have to go in and first you have to create an app. So you don't start here. You don't start at the API documentations. All right. If you're actually going to create an app and sell the app on the GoHighlevel Marketplace, you don't start in the API documentations. All right. You actually have to start at the marketplace.gohighlevel.com. All right. Inside the blog, you can see it probably updated it anywhere around here. It says get your developer account. Here's your instructions, generator, auth token, developer sign up for GHL Marketplace. All right. So you're going to click this and you're actually going to go get signed up for the developer marketplace. All right. That is this process. All right. So first you got to go to the marketplace, right? So first we go to the marketplace, right? And get signed up as a developer. All right. So sign up as dev. All right. Then you actually, from there, you create an app. All right. So you can see from the inside, I'm actually going to create an app. Well, now we're actually going to name that app. So for me, I'm not sure if has anyone had this problem in GHL where you have a whole bunch of custom values and you have to delete the custom values in bulk. Like, has anybody, it sounds so simple. You have like hundreds of custom values because you made them and now you got to delete them. But there's inside GHL, there's no bulk delete. So if you have to delete hundreds, actually, here's a real thing. The other day, I have a client. She literally has products. She had 361 products on a spreadsheet that I had to import into her account. If I messed up any one of those on the import, I would have had to delete manually every single product on the whole entire thing. 361 products I would have had to manually delete. The reason why is because GHL, the moment you go to delete a product, you click delete, and the delete button pops up. But if you select delete 2 products, the delete button goes away. So you can't bulk delete. Yeah.
That's crazy.
You have to code that function in to hide the button instead of just saying, hey, bulk delete. Oh, why not bulk delete? Just add the function to bulk delete.
Yeah.
Loop over selected delete. Like, I'm not even a coder and I know that. Come on.
It makes sense, right?
So they don't have that. So that gives us the opportunity to build an app and sell it on the app, because the iPhone didn't show up with the lighter.
Right.
But somebody's thought, man, I wish I could turn this into a lighter because I don't have lighters anymore. It's not freaking the 90s and nobody smokes. You know what I mean? So why do I carry a lighter around? But I have a phone. So I want to have a phone that turns into a lighter. Well, we want this GHL software should have a bulk delete, and it also should have a funnel mapper. Why doesn't it have it? Well, that gives us the opportunity to build something. Okay. So we have we first then go create an app. Inside the process of creating an app, now you're going to see, I'm just going to say bulk, delete, custom what? Form fields, right? Like, Jesus, like this is such a simple thing. And the app type is going to be private for now. Distribution type is going to be agency and sub account. I'm going to tell you these things. All right. For me, I'm going to make agency and sub account, but you need to think of what you want. You see how I clicked agency and I clicked sub account? You could actually set different pricing for these things. And if the agency buys it, they unlock it for all of their users. So you have to think, what price do I want to set for the agency versus the sub account? The sub account, they're going to see the pricing just for them per that sub account, one account. They're not going to see the agency price. But the agency, somebody could literally come in and buy this software, funnel mapper software, for $47 a month, and they unlock it for 9,000 accounts. Or they could buy it for $7 per account, which that makes way more money. So you have to think of your difference levels. Like so that's a thing that you have to think about. Okay. The reason I'm telling you guys this is because I want you guys to launch agency accounts that you guys are selling for $1,000 a month. And it's the same software. It's the same thing as what the other guys get, but they unlocked it for their entire agency account at $1,000 a month. Do you guys could you guys imagine having 10 users at $1,000 a month for a software that doesn't cost you a dime to run?
Epic.
And AI coded for you? Like, come on. Like, this is insane. And GHL will continue to sell for you every day, forever. Like, you just have to build it once and the code lives on this thing. Like, so, and then we can make more, build cooler stuff. Welcome Austin to the class. If I think Joey and Troy have admin rights. Thank you guys for letting them in. You guys rock. Welcome to class, Austin.
All
right. So now we have where you can actually get listing type, white label, agency. In here, you see how it says standard non-white label, listing type, white label? That's going to be basically your onboarding process. You just want to select white label. If you are going to sell when it says non-white label, the only thing that matters is if you actually have like a sales process that you don't want to use GHL's sales process, because this app place, they actually have a sales process. Like you could sell stuff in here and it could show how much they purchased and what they purchased and everything like that. So if you want to not use that and you want to handle your own customers completely 100%, then you would choose the standard. But if white label is the one I would choose right now. Okay. Recommended. All right. So create app. So here's the thing. Now this thing popped up where it said, hey, look, This is your app name. This is all of the information. Do you guys see? Look at all these things. In order for us to launch this app where our user, the end goal, right? So if we just have the end goal right here, the end goal is the user can use our software. All right. This is the end goal inside their GHL account. All right. And that might be white label or anything. All right. So this is where we're going. This is where we're going. User can use their own software. Well, I just want to let you know this right here is not just like create an app here. It's not. All right. And if anybody has ever set up the GHL or tried, you're going to understand. All right. So, however, the easy version is something like this. Okay. So, however, this actually is way over here. Okay. Maybe over here more. Over here. Yeah. Actually, over here. All right. So that is where we're going if we're going to go the create app way. Okay. It is harder. However, I want to let you know that's because you're eventually selling the app inside the app store. You're actually creating a whole business. When you realize this process, this is the process. So now we have to go through and create a logo. Okay. If you look at it, the logo, I wish you could just upload the logo, and GHL made it really easy, and they just like auto format your logo. But that's not what they do. You have to give these exact dimensions. And it can't be bigger than this silly little like minimal, super small file size. They have made a lot of hoops, and it's not the easiest. So I highly recommend you gather yourself as you go through the process. All right. Because look, you see how it says this? I'm going to link another tool because guess what? I had to code up an image resizer just to make this dang thing work. All right. Because they have very, very specific image requirement sizes that you are going to have to freaking do. All right. And I'm just going to add it into that blog page for us. All right. Because my God, was it annoying. All right. That was probably the hardest thing, was uploading the images. All right. I'm not going to lie. All right. So image resizer. It's a picture of a cat. All right. There we go. All right. Here we go. So step one, my AI team. All right. So there was a video when you guys are going through this blog. All right. It's so funny. There's two ways of doing this, okay? There's this easy way, which is the private integrations, which is this video. And then there's the long way, which is this is the video. It's a 51-minute video teaching you how to do this process that I learned, okay? At number 22, at minute 22, he goes, all right, and that's step one. I'm like, oh my God. All right. So step one is you guys going through this entire process right here and filling it out. That's step one. Okay. So all that is doing is, think about this, what this is actually doing. If you go onto the App Store, okay, if you actually go onto the App Store inside GHL, all right, what you're actually doing is you're actually setting up your marketplace app. You're setting up the sales page. You know what I mean? So that's what you're really doing. You're not actually setting up the API connection just yet. You're actually setting up the sales page of what your user is going to be purchasing and using and seeing as they go. This right here is select the category. So if you don't have the frame of reference of, wait, I'm just connecting the API and I have to do all of this other stuff, this sounds really hard. But if you realize, oh, wait, I'm setting up a software checkout process, and this right here is setting up my categories so they could properly search and find my app. So if I spend the time of saying, oh, wow, this right here is this software is called bulk delete custom form fields. Well, this is a data management thing. All right. So if I spend time of saying, okay, what is my thing and what am I building? I need to properly list this so somebody could find this on the marketplace. This is data management, analytics and data. And Let's see if this anything else applies. CRM, maybe. Customer service, engagement, field service management. I don't even know what that is. Productivity, ERPs. Like some of these words, I have no clue. I'm just going to say other. All right. Tagline. Why didn't GHL do? Why didn't GHL even? Why didn't GHL? Oh, you're not allowed to say GHL because they don't want to be called out. Why didn't this come built already? All right. Bulk, delete, delete.
You got to put didn't.
Why
Didn't.
Thank you. Look, oh, that's why. That's why, because a lot of things, even the small things, are hard. All right. So I just want to let you know it's really easy. The easiest thing you could do is talk crap. Right? There's no skill involved in talking crap. All right. Anyone could do that. All right. So I'm going to not talk crap in my tagline. All right, Jeff. All right. All right. So business niche. Let's see what my business niche is. That doesn't really apply. Company, my AI team represent. All right. All right. And then you see this? So this says your website. So they get holla back. All right. I get a website link. Cool. My AI team. As soon as I can spell my own thing. All right. And then you hit save. And then you see how it says you have to have a logo. You can't even go on to the next page and they let you save this, all the work that you just did without a logo. And then there's some crazy requirements. So I just want to let you know, just go through the process in my AI team. All right, we're going to pop over here in my AI team and I'm just going to show you guys this process. And then I'm going to copy this, my little name, AI images. All right, and I'm going to grab a logo. All right. GHL. I like using the model Flux 1.1, and I'm just going to say, make me a really clean logo for this text. Boom. Paste it. And then it has the width. It doesn't matter what width you use, height and width, because we're going to resize the whole thing. And now here's the thing. You guys can press this button a couple times because like 90% of the time, the AI doesn't spit out what I want the first time. So don't be shy. All right, this says bleep delete. All right, custom form fields, bulk delete form fields, bulk custom form fields, bulk delete form field. Nailed it. All right, so this is good enough. What I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna save this. All right, so this little download icon is a save. And then if I tried to upload this thing right to GHL, actually, believe it or not, this is in the requirements, minimum to the maximum. So I could upload that because it's in the 500, 512 to the max. That could be a logo. If you have to size it, the app must have a logo. Nailed it. If you have to resize it, then you go over here into the image resizer. So I'm going to make this public and I'm going to add it to our blog. Can you also add this link to the image resizer? Bam. All right. So that will be in there for you guys too. You could resize the images and you could also change the file format too. So the reason why is because the next page, now that we saved this, right? The next page is going to say listing configuration. All right, so now this is actually, once you're ready to go public, you'll turn it public, and then you'll actually be able to submit it for review, okay? So this is the process of that, and then you could submit right here, like the actual like software for review, all right? Now we have our app profiles. This is actually setting up your actual app description. Remember, we are setting up the listing for people to actually purchase this. If I actually go to right here, the app marketplace over here, so wherever it went, if I go into an account, right? So this is my AI team. And you can see how I have app marketplace on this left-hand side. Well, look at this. This is the software. These are the apps. Right? There's 444 apps right now in the marketplace. All right. Well, if I go in here, check out this. If I click on Score app, okay? If I click on the Score app, you can see this is what really we're setting up. We're setting up this sales page right here, right? So in this V2 process of this create app and setting up on the marketplace, you're actually setting up that like this sales page right here, right? Here's your app category, lead generation, pricing, app version, developer. This would my AI team would say there, right? This is all the things, and you get reviews. And then this install button. You see how there's this install button right here? This install button really behind the scenes, if I go into basic info and I show this little thing and I hit show, this install link, this is what this install link is. That's what that link is. They actually just put that link right here. When I click that, it installs the software. Magic. So that's what that does. So if you ever want someone to install it for free and use it for free, you can send it to them that way. Okay. So this thing, you're going to go through the entire listing configurations, every step. When you guys are going through this, don't have the mindset as, oh, I just want to get this over with. You should have the mindset is, I want to know what every single button in here does, so I have full confidence in my software in the future. All right, because you guys are going to have like potentially hundreds, if not thousands of users potentially for these softwares. So you want to know the process. And don't be shy. They made it really simple. Just read each word, app profile, right? Do you want to have a different app profile for your agency and your sub account? Think about this. Do you want to sell your sales page? Do you want it to be different for agencies versus sub accounts? Yes or no? And then you'll be able to have different copy, and you'll be able to have different images for those things, right? Because they're two different customers. Okay. So as we're mapping out, this, just know we have our segments. We have two different audiences. We have our agency owner of GHL, and we also have our sub account. Okay. This is our sub account, which is directly the users. So for me, when I'm setting up this software, the funnel mapper software, what I did is I set up the pricing. So this one is $7 a month. If you don't have recurring revenue, you don't have a business, right? If this one is $47 a month, because I don't know, because if you want to buy it for your whole entire agency, well, it's $47 a month. That's what I set. Should I increase the price one day? Yeah, because I didn't realize that you could unlock it for hundreds of accounts. That's wild. Well, in here, you could actually see support details. So we'll go to the next one. You could actually set support details up. So you could do that part. Let's go back. Oh, that's way too back. All right, can we go? Let's not so back, bro. All right, let's refresh this. Where's my app go? All right, I got signed out. All right, let's sign back in. All right, so you guys can see the developer process. This is what it looks like. They're going to text you a code. All right, and hopefully this isn't a super secret code. All right. If it is, welcome to the development team. All right. All right, so we're back here and we have our bulk custom delete. You can see how we have all our apps in here. Nailed it. So I could come on here, and if you go here where it says pricing, check out this. What level of pricing, baby? You can actually choose what kind of paid version it is. For me, I have the website scraper that's able to scrape Google Maps and import like contacts and leads. I can't wait to add that into a software into this. Well, you can make it where it's freemium. You can make it free, freemium, or paid, right? If I do the paid, it gets rid of all the freeloaders. And then now you can add paid plans. Here's what you can do. You see how it says add a plan, create a new payment plan, set up different pricings for agency and sub account. I highly recommend you do this because the moment the agency buys it, they unlock it for all of their sub accounts. Okay. So yes, you would want that if you're going to charge something on a monthly basis or a yearly basis, or you could do one-time fees, right? You could charge a software and say, hey, for $997, you could unlock the entire software for all of your accounts, or for this one, it's $97, all right, per sub account. And it's the same, it's whatever software you choose. You could name the plans, right? So think about when we're actually on this checkout process, this thing, right? Let's see if we can find a paid one. All right, you see how it says over here, it says pricing. Boom, pricing. Let's look for a monthly paid one. All right, that's cool. Share tool links, nice. AI call summarizer, bet. Free to install, okay. Export conversations. Guys, this is a software that all you do is export the conversations. That's an API call to export your conversations. That's it. All right, what's the paid version of this? Somebody, let's see. So we could scroll down. I don't know if they have like a install. I don't know if it where it tells you the pricing yet. I'm scared to click on it though. So these are all the paid ones, free to install. Boom. This one says free to install with deep links. All right. Well, let's see if it takes me to a checkout page. All right. Let's see. Okay. It takes me to another page. So it checks and says verifies your thing. And then there's different plan levels. Nice. All right. Free plan versus your yearly plan. So this is per sub account. And then there's a yearly. What you got? You guys have a yearly? No. Oh, yearly, not $73 a year. That's what's up. And it's a 7-day free trial for this thing. All right. I dig it.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right. So we're actually setting up our checkout page. Okay. That's what we're really doing here. Then you're going to list all your features, right? So plan name, I'm just going to say one time. I'm going to say plan name one time. I'm just going to say lifetime. People like that word, right? Lifetime. All right. Never pay again. Boom. All right. Cool. Add plan. So then they can unlock it and boom, you can offer free trials, all this stuff. So think about this. Think about the power in this. It's not just, oh, I'm going to set up an API connection. Okay. If you have that mindset, oh, I just need to make an API connection really fast. Well, then that's a whole different thing. All right. So if you actually need to do much more, right? I'm going to make a prediction. Jeff's going to take over the GHL marketplace. Let's go. Let's go, Joey. All right. You see my vision. However, I hold my goals close to my heart so nobody judges them. All right. I don't like people judging my goals. All right. Because then they're like, you can't do that. I'm like, watch me. All right. So here we go. All right. All right. So here we go. The next thing. So if you were to just connect the API, if we go to the API documentations, let me show you guys this. All of this, if you look at all these things, these are what you could do in the API documentations. You're able to get the businesses. You're able to update a business, get a business by location, get all the calendars. You're able to get all the calendars, get all the events, get all the notes, campaigns, companies, contacts, objects, associations, custom fields, right? Like if we do custom fields, let's see, are these ones custom fields? Are these going to be like the ones from the forms? Because custom forms fields are different. Custom fields. All right. So custom fields, right? So here, all our custom fields. Look at all this. Get custom field by folder. Get custom field by ID. Get all custom fields. All right. Is what we're looking at. Get custom object.
Austin's got a question, Jeff.
Which got Austin?
So when you say there's an API call to get businesses, what do you mean there's an API call to get businesses? Like where the businesses, like the businesses that come through the pipeline, or what businesses that what does that mean?
Yeah, that's a great question. Okay, so some APIs, you know how we were talking about these agency levels, right? And we're talking about agency owner and we're talking about sub account users.
Yes.
Some APIs are only for the agency and some are only for the sub account. Okay. So if it's businesses, most likely it's going to be talking about your agency level and it's going to get all your agency accounts of who's all on your account. Okay. Like all the businesses, because each one of these are actually a business, right? That's how the sub accounts are looked at. They're all businesses. Okay. Now, if you're talking about company profiles inside there's different API endpoints. Okay. So some of them API endpoints are for just the agencies and they're going to be agency owner only. And then there's some, because you might want a dashboard that just says, can you give me a dashboard that shows me only the agency accounts? And I could see when the last they logged in. That's it. Maybe or something cool like that, right? Like you want something very simple that you could embed, that you could have in here that's really easy. And maybe they don't have it because GoHighlevel just, they've done everything. They built so much, they just forgot that little bulk update. They just didn't think about bulk deleting products by the thousands. I don't know why, but they didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. I was just curious. Because that'd be good to know with what businesses are on the platform and whatnot.
Yeah. So look at this, right? So this is, you can see in here as we're reading these. So I like to do what I did before I ever dived into my project. I went through all of these and I clicked on every single one to see what can this do. Because when you start to realize what this API endpoint, you can do so much. You can build software on top of GoHighlevel, and you treat GoHighlevel as the database.
Yeah.
If you guys can realize what I just said, I can build software for myself, and instantly Jameson could plug in his API key or click that little download link, and now he's a user on my software, and magically it's like he's been using it for 5 years because all of his business connects into this thing. All of the data, all of his contacts just connects right into this software. So it's like, this is incredibly powerful. So you want to go through each one of these and be like, oh, what can this do? Right? What can this do? And you see right here. So let's just say this one, right? Let's stick with the little form example because we want to get our custom fields, right? So you see how it says get call, right? The little get call is essentially that's to get data. Okay.
Yep.
Delete data is post data is to create data. All right. But if we want to create a custom field, this would be it. If we want to get custom field by object key, what the heck does that mean? Right? I'm scared now. What the heck does that mean? Accepted forms, PDFs, folders. All right. Some of these are a little deep. All right. So we got to figure out and we got to learn them. All right. So one of them that I know that I've done is the get forms. Okay. Let's start with something we know. All right. Sometimes you don't got to start at the deep end. Just start with one thing and be like, hey, I did something. All right. Like chill. All right. We're going to start there. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get a form. Okay. Forms we could do. So if we want to actually come in here, you can see right here, if we wanted to make an API call, that has the ability to make, these are all of the abilities of what we could actually make API calls with, okay? There's a ton of things. However, if we go into here also, you see how it says modules? This thing is crazy. I didn't realize how powerful this was at first, okay? Click on modules, and then you'll click on like custom JavaScript. This says custom JavaScript. So think about it. You're going to be able to code up. I don't know how to do any of this yet. You're going to be able to code up custom JavaScript inside the builder. So as soon as they download your app, it adds custom JavaScript to their builder. Like, what the heck? The next thing is custom page. If you ever want a little page to pop up on the left-hand side for your users, you see how mine says funnel mapper? If you ever want a little thing to say that, you create a custom page, you say custom page. I'm going to say bulk, delete, bulk fields, delete. All right. So that's going to be our little name. And then we can have a placement. So this is choosing where you want your it to show up. Well, we want it to show up in the left menu navigation. So now that's actually going to pop up in our over here for every GHL user. As soon as they download the app, it magically pops over here. Like, I find that to be phenomenal. You could build. So this live URL is what actually page will be displayed. So if we actually have a page that's going to say a little like a form field, like a little editor, right? Well, we actually need a page that we won't say. So if I wanted to say, let's just say it was an imagery sizer page, I would get my link and I would add, I keep clicking on this, so I'm going to delete it. I'm going to add my URL right there. Well, this is going to be the page that's actually going to pop up. So I'm going to say delete. Is there any delete buttons? Delete a little trash can icon. I kind of like that little tag better, backspace icon. Okay. So this is going to be what page gets added to the little side icon. So this is actually right here. This live URL is the inside of your software. All right. That's the page that they're going to see when they click. When they click on this, this is going to pop up. We are setting that page right here. Bam. Okay. Setting that. All right. So now it says custom page successfully created. So this is the preview. So as soon as this is going to be the name that it installs, and this is what they're going to see whenever they have it. Now we have over here. Look at what else we could do. So if you look at this whole thing, the API endpoints, this is just to connect to the data. However, inside this marketplace, you're also able to do more stuff. You can see how that they have like, please add oAuth and all this stuff. We could add conversation providers. So soon you can make it where you can message back and forth with different conversation providers. You can code those up. You can also code up a custom payment provider, right? You just have to go through the stuff. One of the things that I'm most excited for, this says web widget, right? It says add your web widget. So I could figure out soon, this is one of the things I'm going to figure out, a web widget inside the builder of the website builder. You can add things. So one of the things that I'm going to build in there, watch this. So it loads up. All right, must be losing my voice. So what we can do is I want a web widget because I have clients that have before and after pictures. I want them to be able to easily have that in their software, that they can easily add a software up here and they could just drag and drop before and after. That's it. That's the web widget.
That'll be sick.
And now every single funnel builder in GHL can use this before and after slider in their builder for $7 a month or $10 one time. You know what I mean? Like what? You could unlock this for $10 one time and you could use this. So it's not just, this is not the setup to use the APIs. It's so much more than that. You know what I mean? It's so much more than that. And once you start, if you go into the workflows, if you ever do the automations and you want to be able to do something in the automations, this is the ability to set up the automations. So you can set up where the AI creates an image for you and you make it where they pay for you every single time they make that call. You can build that in here. And now they could use it in their workflows and their automations. And when they send out emails, you could make it where it gets a little cha-ching notification on their phone. And you have it where they install an app and then they could set their little webhook where they send the cha-ching notification. And this is the process. And you build that little software for them. So this is insane opportunities. The next one is the snapshots. So literally you could make it where you can sell a software in the marketplace that includes funnels in entire snapshots. So you can treat the marketplace as a template store for your builders, for your websites that you build up and make beautiful, or add functionality to, or whatever you do. You can make it where it's a snapshot and then it downloads the snapshot. Like, absolutely insane.
Could you include snapshots into the funnel mapper if you really wanted to?
You sure can.
Add that as like an upsell.
You 1000% can. Like, it's so crazy. So when I say I see that this thing, the GHL marketplace, like I said, sometimes you got to hold your dreams close. But I believe that you guys are my close group, right? Like, I believe that the GHL marketplace is going to be life-changing. And the only way it's going to be life-changing is because I'm going to actively build apps on this thing. And I'm going to force it to change my life. I'm not going to be like, oh, I hope it changes my life. No, I'm going to make it change my life. You know what I mean?
No, so does every app have its own sales page?
Every app has its own sales page, right? And now watch, we're going to go into the advanced settings. Here's why. When we go to this authentication, okay, the reason why GHL, and I fully agree, the reason why they went from APIs to oAuth to APIs, like through this whole crazy process, right? The reason why you have to go through this whole entire process now is because if somebody gets a hold of my API key for my GHL account and they go into V2 version 1, they could go into the contacts and they could click delete all contacts if they got my API key.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Is it wild, right? Like, so it's like, dude, like imagine, so think about it. It's like, it's a massive security risk. Well, it's not a big deal if you're just like, I'm playing with it, I'm only me, you know, like that's not a big deal. It's a big deal if you have clients that have millions of dollars going through their funnels and they have patient data that it relies, their entire business is built on your software. And then all of a sudden somebody comes in there and they leaked an API key and they hit delete. Like I would probably throw up. Right? I would literally throw up for a week. All right, so here's the thing. You have to do what's called scopes. Joe, you got a question?
Yeah, I got a question. Would you do a course in the future on building? You probably use my AI team to build this funnel mapper and get it? You got it all started in there, right?
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay, so could you do a class on building one from my AI team, and then all the way to implementing it in the store, or like showing us like from how you started in my AI team, and that way we can see from start to finish like the whole process of, and that also gives us an incentive to work to use my AI team for people to want to build in apps for the marketplace, because you can show them how easy it is to use your software to do this.
That's a great idea. And here's the thing on this call, I mean, you guys can feel free to dip out anytime you want. This is recording. I'll send you the replay afterwards. Okay. On this call, I'm going to do that.
Right on, because I'm building a visual funnel mapper right now just so I can have one to play with in my AI team.
Okay.
And I'm trying to, like, where I'm at right now is hoping this next update does it. I'm just trying to get it. I can show you what I can drag in the elements, but I'm trying to get it to where I can draw lines. Oh, now it's working. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Check out this too. All right. If you go into my AI team,
Yeah.
here's all your code snippets. All right. All of this isn't just white noise. All right. I just didn't style it the most and it's kind of a little cluttered. Okay. But like go through and read it. If you go through in here, check out this, right? Here's the funnel game. And if I go into where is this funnel game? Where'd it go? All right. Let me funnel mapper. All right. Let me do this. All right. So that was coded up 15 days ago. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. All right. Go right here. This is the funnel map. All right. I'm going to go into the settings and change the visibility, and I'm going to change it to public. Okay. So essentially what that does is if you go down here now, this is in here, right? So look in here and you'll be able to see the word funnel map. Okay. And if you click it, if you could view, you'll be able to see exactly what I see.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
All right. But also for you, you'll have this cute little button and it looks like a little like split in the road, right? You see it? It's right here, right?
Oh, the gear?
Yeah, not the gear. Yours won't look like a gear. Yours will look like this little icon right here.
Oh, okay.
When you
click, yeah,
it's going to say, would you like to duplicate this?
I see it now.
And now you own it, Joey.
Bet, bro.
It's all yours. Update it, make it changes. You have what I have. You can right click it, add emails, and you can do all of this. It's yours, and you could update it, and you could say make this like the Matrix, right? And then you can hit generate, and it's totally your code. Okay.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. When I started this, check out this. When I started with this at the very beginning, I said, can you make a world-class funnel mapper using amazing visual library Give me all the things a marketer would need to easily drag and drop and plan out a world-class marketing campaign start to finish. So I'll like just add my prompt into this too. So, however, if anyone has what's called the Code Vault, okay, the Code Vault is a software that I built. Basically, here's the Code Vault. The Code Vault is all the software that I ever create. I take the code from here, and as I get it to the further foundations of it, and I put it into the Code Vault so you could actually like sell it as your own. And I have a whole bunch of code in there for that. So if you guys ever want to, then it even comes with a little like software dashboard and all this cool stuff. So, okay, so here's this. So in order for us to not ever lose everything in our account, right, inside GHL, they have something called scopes, okay? Scopes are what determines the data that you actually have access to. All right, now your API call doesn't do everything. Your API call only does some things. All right, so I'm going to type in forms, and you see how there says forms. It says read only or write, read and write. Well, forms read is so I could read the forms. Now I'm going to type in forms, write. Well, that gives me the ability to write anything in the forms. Make sense? All right, if I want to get the contacts, read only, write. Read only, the reason why you want read only is because sometimes you only want to make a dashboard. If you have it right, so if I have contacts right, well, that means I can actually create new contacts. I could write to the database. So you need to think, what do you want my app to do? Because GoHighlevel is going to see your app and they're going to say, do I want them to actually have all that information? Yes or no? Right? So you don't want to make it where you don't want to, like, some things they don't allow you to connect to certain things because it's like, dude, they don't want that much data. So you got to think about it. All right. So this is what you want to give access to. These are called your scopes. Now check out this. You see how it says install link right here? Watch what happens. If I hit save, right? URL redirect. All right. So I have to have a redirect URL. Okay. We're going to learn a lot of things on this call. All right. I'm going to hit you with a fire hose. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab this URL up here, this funnel map URL. And this is, once you guys actually get to the part that you're coding stuff up, this URL, the redirect URL, this is after they click install, where do they get redirected to? So this might be a thank you page that says, congratulations, you successfully installed. Go check out your account now, right? Or it might say, congratulations. Would you like this next product? Would you like this? Would you like to join the free Facebook group? You know what I mean? You might put it whatever it is. However, what's important about the redirect URL, if I hit add, I'm going to hit save because we have to hit save. What's important about this is it's actually going to have a very important code in it, in the URL parameters. Super nerdy stuff, but it's going to generate a code for us. Okay. So in the future, that code, imagine if you have data that you want to save to say this person purchased and now this, who just purchased? Well, that code's going to show you who just purchased. So that is what we're going to need. Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to talk about it a little bit later. In the client IDs, we're going to hit add. We're just going to say test, right? You can name your client ID, whatever you so choose. All right. So now we have this. All right. So it generates the client secret key and the client ID. The reason why this is so important is because we're going to copy this and we need to add this to some type of note. All right. So check out this. I coded up this little note, GHL app. I coded this note, this little like thing that makes me notes.
Let's go, Jeff, like a boss.
All right. It's really helpful. All right. It's so helpful. So if I ever need my affiliate link, I just come in here and hit copy and then I can,
I love it.
You know what I mean? By certain affiliate link. So easy. All right. So I'm just going to hit category. I'm just going to say GHL apps. And then I'm just going to paste this data. All right. So bam, and paste that. Bam. Oh, wait, that didn't work at all. All right. So test, copy here. Boom. Add note. And let's see, where'd that go? No title. So GHL app, and then same thing, bam. So I'm just gonna say apps, and then all right, add note. And I'm gonna copy the second one, this client secret. I actually need both of these. All right, so edit. All right, update no. All right, so I have this client secret and client ID. All right, so now I have this saved. All right, and then you also want this shared secret key. All right, so we're gonna hit generate key, and we're also gonna generate and copy and save that. All right, so those are the two things that you're gonna need to save. And the reason why is because, well, I mean, we actually have to enter that into another thing. So you see how this is a multi-step process just to be able to get the actual thing. Now, here's what happens. You see how it has this link? This link right here, this is the link that actually sets all of this up for us. If I go to this copy page, if I go to this, watch what happens. All right, log into your CRM. All right, and now I will actually go through the login process of logging into my GHL. And now this will auto install this little like app, right? Like it logs into my CRM, and this is the white label version of it, right? So let's try that again. All right, so this is the white label version, and then it will install that little code. And then you could select your account. So this is what the user sees. So you see how it says select account, continue to bulk delete custom form fields. This is the software we made. This is asking us, what account do we want to install? Do we want to install it at the agency level where it unlocks it for all the sub accounts? Or do we want to install it at the user level, the sub account level? For me, I just want it on the My AI team account. All right, so watch. Now it clicks this. Perfect, as soon as it loads. And then boom, it just took us back here to the page. Now you see up here in this very top, this took me a minute to understand, and I'm telling you guys because it's a little nerdy, but you see how it says code up here? Might be really hard to see, but it says code up here. And look, it just turned it into Matrix, baby. Welcome to the Matrix. All right. Look, I like the Matrix version way better, bro.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking of something that if you could do the way you did it with the copy and paste on with the Google extension or the Chrome extension, could I do something? Would it be hard if I wanted to do a screenshot and drag it in a Chrome extension? Like if I wanted to take like a little screenshot and then drag it in there, and then like what? I don't even know like if it would be that important to use. Like you wouldn't use it all the time, but like for right there, I mean, it wouldn't work for you because you needed to select the text. I know Apple now you can select text out of pictures, but you know, I mean, if you could select the text out of a picture, you could have did a quick little screenshot to drag into a Chrome extension. I don't know if you can do that. That should be possible, right?
Yeah, that'd be freaking awesome. Yeah, that'd be cool as heck too. And yeah, I mean, I definitely could work on updating that and add that functionality because that would be sweet. If you guys were here on one of the last classes, we learned about Google Chrome plugins.
Yeah, I learned about it.
And that was one of the Google Chrome plugins that I built to be able to I need this functionality. Like I just need all my affiliate links in one location. How do I download this? Here it is. All right. So that process, this is what sets up what you allow on your software. Okay. Well, if we go back to our API documentations, we're still in this advanced way. So literally we're still in, as funny as it is, we're still in step one.
Did you even have to connect the API to the code?
Did I have to connect to the API to get the code?
For what you built, this funnel mapper, is this all just built with My AI team without a connection to an API?
Yep.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Isn't that sick, bro? So
dude,
literally, when they had to fill out the scopes, I'm like, it doesn't need any scopes.
That's awesome.
I just need to be able to download and add it magically to the left-hand side.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That's it, Joey. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So think about that. You can build software and magically have it add to the left-hand side. Joey, check out this. This is called the YouTube converter or content repurposer 9000. All right. This thing is literally a full YouTube software. This is going to connect into the APIs that you're able to insert in a YouTube link. It downloads the transcript from that YouTube, downloads a video, gets the transcripts, code timestamps it so we can make videos, little videos in the future, full transcript. Then you could come over here and you could click the new SEO button and it's going to write, the AI is going to write up this entire, all you need to be able to create a YouTube video, everything.
If you switch screens, I can't see your screen. I'm not sure if you switch, or if you're just talking. I don't know if you switch screens to show me that YouTube thing or if you were just talking, but it was still on the matrix.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Bam.
Okay, now I can see it.
So this, you insert in your YouTube link,
Mm-hmm.
it downloads the video, it gets the transcripts of your entire video.
Love it.
And then you can take that and you can click create new SEO. I did that a few seconds ago, and it will it'll rewrite your SEO stuff, which gives you your title, your description, your tags, your thumbnail for the video.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah.
And for the thumbnail text, then you could click summary and it'll generate summary notes. And then this is going to generate the summary notes. Social, generate social media posts in a few seconds. These will be done. You see that there's little numbers like the little 2. That means how many you have, so you can go over.
Yeah, that's because you could take all the videos that you've made, like training videos, and like transcribe them and turn them into a book, and within like a few days, like all your educational videos, you were like, oh my gosh.
So look, here's look at this. If you guys look at this Twitter post, if you don't have reoccurring revenue, you don't have a business.
That's
It
right.
pulled that from my transcript from the last video, and I just said it on this video too.
I know. Anytime I think of that, I think of you.
That's what's up, man. Like, then you can have it generate your thumbnails. So it'll generate you different thumbnails for your whole entire thing, right?
Mm.
Like all of this, like literally, like that one, white label your way to freedom.
Oh, nice.
Oh man, like from
That's
welfare.
brilliant. That's brilliant, bro. Like, so I can just take the YouTube videos I made for the guy I'm working for. I can transcribe the video and I can get a blog article out of it with this little, basically, that's what you're telling me, right?
Yep. So because you guys are on this call, I just sent the link.
Oh.
You guys can use the link. It doesn't cost a dime for now. Okay. And you guys can use it to your heart's content. I pay for every dime now, but I need you guys to give me feedback. All right. If you also click the transcript, check out this, Joey. There's a blog option. You can click generate blog article. This thing will generate you the entire blog section and it spits it out, right? So if I go to view transcript right here, let's go to the blog on this one. It generates the entire thing. Bam. So here's the blog. It's a massive blog. Here's the little, I just clicked the generate blog. It reviews your transcript and gives you blog title options, target keywords, a location qualifier if you're trying to target like certain cities, and then any additional instructions that you have. So if you say, talk about this or add this link and reference these URLs, put your affiliate link in here, all of that, you add it right here, and then it will generate that entire blog for you. And then soon, once we connect this to GHL, look at how it outputs this thing. Frequently asked questions, monetizing it, adds my affiliate links to this thing. Like, it's insane what this thing does for the blog, bro. All from your transcript, so it's from your actual video. And then you can even tell it, add the video into this at the very top, right? And this tells you how to build your sales page, all of this. So this whole software is going to be in the marketplace soon. So if I go into this marketplace, check out this. So I'm actually I'm in here. If I go into the app marketplace, well, app marketplace, this is where you search all your apps. Well, installed apps will look. This is my installed apps. Hello? Hello? Does it work? Does it work? My action. Let's try
I
it.
don't think you're in the My AI team account, are you?
What's up with this? All right, let's try it again. Okay, there you go. Okay. That's why. All right, app marketplace. If I go to installed apps, these are all my installed apps. Okay. Oh yeah, we just installed the other ones. All right, so look, these are all my installed apps. Bulk delete. This is the one I made just now. You see that?
Yeah, so basically it's just like once you got your funnel builder in the store and installed on the left side, you're just displaying the code from My AI team on the right side. Okay.
Look at this, Joey. Look, now we have the bulk field delete right here. It just
Bro,
appears
you're
here.
about to change the game, I swear. Oh
You guys
God.
see something cool?
It's so wild. What'd you say, Austin?
You guys want to see something cool?
Let's see it.
Can I share my screen?
Hit it. And then we're going to land the plane because we're getting close to making our first API call.
Sorry, I'm just got so excited with what I've been building.
Let's see it, man.
So this is I've been building this secretly.
Ooh.
It's the vibe station.
Dude, that's cool.
You can join a room.
Let's join it. It's vibe code, man. That's what we're doing, baby.
Join the room. We can start a session or start a stream, and we're streaming. And I can share and you can go ahead and
We're only seeing this one tab, Austin. This the Discover public room still. This is looking really good, man. Are you in another room? Do you have another room that we see? I want to see it. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, right. All I see is the vibe coding.
Is this a chat room, dude? This looks sick.
Why can't I see it?
That's how I feel. Why can't I see it? Does it open up a pop-up with a new URL maybe, and then you could pop that URL in? Well, this is cool, Austin. I would love to be able to chat and then it automatically connects to my profile or something cool, you know, whatever it is. Like, they're so sick. Or even all of these could be standalone businesses. We're just teaching about connecting to GHL. Austin, maybe if you share your entire screen, it will work. Like, so stop sharing and then share your entire screen. And then we'll be able to see that pop up. Is this helping out, Joey? Is this helping through this process?
Yeah, this is great, man. Like with things that are moving the way things are going to be going within like the next like 3 to 6 months, I'm going to be doing more courses and whatnot, and I'm going to be teaching people how to use My AI team, and I'm going to be, you know, helping you along that road of getting people to sign up under my affiliate.
That's what's up.
Because the lady I'm gonna be working with, she's starting another podcast. She's got a networking event. She's got a contact list of 50,000 people, and I'm just like, she's like, we can create courses, you know, like, and she's like going to split revenue with me from all the courses we make, and so I'm gonna be like, and I want to stream it like you. I saw you streaming one time. You know, I'd like for us to stream and start streaming. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. All right.
And then like just like, you know, like maybe we'll hold, like have a if we got enough people, we could have a contest. You got an hour to build the best thing or something.
Dude, that'd be a blast. That would be such a blast. I would join. I'd be totally in it.
Yeah.
It was so fun. Okay, so once you have that, awesome, no worries. So let me show you. So here's the thing. In order to do this whole process, I actually created a couple tools, okay? So if you look in this, we actually have an oAuth implementation process to make this process easier, okay? So here's what I did. The very first tool, we'll open this in a new tab, And then the second tool, I'll show you what we do with that next. Okay. So you see this?
Yeah.
All right. So this is setting up, basically setting up the URL to generate the authorization URL. All right. So all of this page is doing is the same thing that this essentially did. You see how it says the scopes and all this stuff? And then I set my client ID and all that stuff, and I got all that. All this is doing is making it where I set that up. Okay. And then I hit generate, and then it generates this authorization URL. Okay. That's all I did. This page isn't necessarily necessary because it really just generates this page, this link. Okay. But you need to know what it's actually doing so you know that it's okay, like the client ID and then the redirect URL. All it's doing is creating this URL link. Well, what does this URL link do? So remember when we actually went to and we installed that URL link and we got this little code up here? That code, this is the oAuth process. Okay. So you see how over here it says client ID, client secret, grant type, and then code. That code we got from going to that URL, installing that app, and then going to the redirect. So if you were to ever build a software, your software needs to get that code parameter to say this person bought. Okay. So that's like connecting it to the database. That's like going in the next level. All right. However, if you're just wanting to add this magically into the left-hand side like we want to, then we'll do it the other way. Okay.
Yeah.
So we could always go back in history and then magically we're at a tree trimming game. That has nothing to do with. Look, a new tree is it's like, all right, that's not the game. So we'll go back to the game. All right. All right. So wherever the code is. All right. So so essentially this was like the very original one. Make it like the matrix. We'll just stick with the matrix. All right. So this is essentially the process of actually like building it. Okay. So whenever we do that and we actually have this secret key, all right, it's going to give us the client. So we have the code. All right. So now you see how this is the get access token. So watch this. Now, if we go back to this mapper where we're actually here, I think we lost our little thing. So when we're actually going through that process, that multi-step process, okay, we actually have to get now the authorization oAuth 2 process. Okay. So this is the oAuth 2 process. Now we actually have to paste our client ID and our client secret, which we got from earlier. Okay. So now we would actually paste it secret into this. And I'm going to show you what we're going to get from this. This is pretty intense to get the API call, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So now we'll go back into the apps. Now we have our little client ID. So I'll copy this. Our client ID goes in here. The next part, when we actually have this set up, this is basically setting up the API call, right? So this is doing an API call to one of the API endpoints called get oAuth 2. This is the actual oAuth 2 API endpoint. So if I was to go into the GHL API documentations, this is the call that we're actually doing right here. This is the API call, get access token. This get access token right here, this is the API call that I just built the website for. You see how it says client ID, client secret, and client code right here, or code? All I did was this user dashboard is terrible. I didn't want to use this user dashboard. I wanted my own dashboard. And so I built my own. Okay. So that's all this is. All right, so now if I type in location and I type in, we're going to need the redirect URL, right? So whatever that is. All right, if I type in the send request, authorization code is invalid. Lame. Why is it invalid? It shouldn't be. All right, so this is the code. All right. So this is the code, and this is essentially where it should be. Okay. So it says our authorization code is invalid. Awesome. What this would normally return is our oAuth 2 token. All right.
Yeah.
Which is what you need to be able to make all of the API calls with everything else. Okay. So that is the ultimate step. Now, is there a way, easier way? Yes. All right. So if we go into settings,
Easier. Yeah, I saw API in the settings earlier when I was looking at it. That's different.
so we don't want to get the API key. Here's what we want to do. You see where it says private integrations?
Okay.
On the left-hand side, we're going to go to private integrations, and you could have 5 private integrations. Okay. So that's the way, like that's the cap that they put for whatever reason. All right. So as soon as, let's see what's up with this. All right. So let's go back here. Sub accounts might be like signed out of one. So we'll go to settings, right? By the end of this call, Joey, we're going to make an API call. All right. So,
All right.
all right. So thanks for sticking with me, man.
Hey, no problem, bro. I'm about to set up my my music course on GoHighlevel. So it's like I'm just trying to get it back fresh in my head. Like I was in it when it was a lot rougher than way rougher than it is now. You know, it was like,
All right.
but I did have it set up where I was sending out text reminders, voicemail drops, you know, like I had Twilio integrated, Mailgun, you know, so I did all that.
Did you say you're going to do a music course?
Yeah.
Bet, man. So here's what we could do. If you want, whenever we get off this call, like maybe like a little later today or tomorrow or whenever you're available, I mean, I could show you how to set all that up inside the course, and so you could set up a community, you could set up the courses.
Oh man, I love that because it would speed up the process for me so much.
Bet, man. Yeah. So let's land this plane, and then let's do it. All right. And then so just keep me updated. I have time over the next few days, so I'm moving tomorrow, but I'll have time the next few days. So keep me updated.
I that's the thing is this weekend's going to be kind of crazy, but I mean we might be looking at the first of next week.
Bet. Sounds great, man. Yeah.
All right.
Whenever you're available. All right. So look, now we're going to create a new integration, and then we're going to name it, right? And I'm just going to name this forms, right? And then we could provide our own description. And then if we go to the next, then look, doesn't this look familiar? Now we have our scopes. Well, if I type in forms, we're going to be able to view form, and I'm going to say forms again, and I'm going to say edit forms. Nailed it. And now we can hit create. Now we have a private integration key.
Okay.
So this is our API key.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? So I can hit copy instead of going through the entire oAuth 2 process. If you just wanted to connect to the forms, like to the actual data, like to the API, really easy, you just get this code for the private integrations and you do it. Now, here's what's awesome. Check this out. If I go into forms, here is a software that I built. So I built one called Forms, and it's a whole bunch of GHL forms. It's a form dashboard. Well, you can also have people connect through the private integration. All right, so if I go into the forms, let me see this real fast. All right, I added, hopefully it loads any second now. All right. So here we have the forms. It's going to populate any second. I'm going to hit sensitive mode on. All right, so check out this. If I go to API configuration, and now you see how it says these API keys, I could literally put in my API key and my location ID. Well, our location ID you get from the top of your Your software, you see how up here it says location, in the URL it says location, and there's like this number right before everything else.
Mm-hmm.
This is our location ID. There's a couple other ways to get it. But now I could come into my software and I could paste that location ID and I could connect. And it's going to populate all of my forms. Literally, this is all of my forms into my GHL account.
Whoa, that's cool. So you could, okay. So you start working with a new company or whatever, and you've already built all these forms, you can just integrate them into that new account.
Not only the new account, but if let's just say they already have a whole bunch of forms.
Yeah.
Think about this. So here's the issue that I was running in. If I go to preview this guy's account, right? I have sensitive mode on, but if I go to preview, I needed to be able to easily see all of his form responses.
Right.
I needed to be able to see where it says contact history. I needed to be able to see all of the forms he's ever submitted.
Ah.
GHL doesn't have a cute little way to do that.
Oh, I don't. Give me the money. He said, just give me my money.
All right. You know what I mean? All right. So I literally made it where you could do that. That's it. So
No, that's baller, bro.
that's it, man. All right. So how do we connect to the API through the way that we just did? You can see we could plug in with that little key. All right. So there's other ways to do it. Well, also that little key, let's just say I actually need to come in here and there's get forms. Okay. This is the API call that I'm calling. Well, if I actually need to call that API inside of my dashboard, I could copy this code and I could go into here, into the forms, and I could paste my authorization key into the token. All right. And then it says my location ID. Okay. So I'm going to grab my location ID from that. All right. Well, why we have this copied, let me show you. There's two places. There's the token with the oAuth in your call. And then if you scroll down in this, it's really hard to even see that it's a scroll thing. There says authorization also. You're going to paste that authorization in there right there. Bam. All right. So there's two authorization places. And then you're going to grab that location ID from your account. And this is actually doing the API call. So if I go back into here, we can see I could put my location ID and I could hit send request. Well, look at this. This just called my forms. It literally got all my forms that I have inside my software, my account. I have registration, form 3, business coaching, AI coding class, scraping class. Like these are my forms.
Wow.
So this just made, I just did a version 2 API call, but I used my private integration key.
Nice.
All right. Now, the last thing I'll leave you with, watch this. You see this little sample request right here? I could copy this and I could go into my AI team, Billy. And I could say, create new snippet. And I could say forms. And I could say, create me a world-class dashboard for this API call. Paste. Okay. And then I go back into the other one. You need 2 calls. You need the call, which is the sample request, and then you need the sample response. Okay, the response. So you need 2 things. So I copy this one also. Copy, bam. And I go back into my AI team. And you could do this with every single one. And I hit paste. And then I add it to a folder because you can keep them all nicely organized. And I hit create project. And then I sip some coffee. That's it. Okay.
Very nice. Very nice. I like it very much.
Very nice. All right. It opens up a new window. All right. And we'll have a little loading screen that the AI is coding stuff up for us. All right. AI is coding. If we're really bored, we can click on this. Eventually, I'll make it a better game, a quicker game.
Oh, when you're done, before we're off the call, I have one thing I want to ask you about, but I'll wait till you're done with what you're doing.
All right. So this right now is making that API call and building us a software dashboard for this.
That's awesome.
And so, like, you can build and get all of these API calls and you can build it.
It's just a matter of getting in the thick of it and like really just diving in for like, like a week straight and like just getting in it and then it's just going to be click, 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 click. It's all there. It's like all the puzzle pieces are there. It's just putting it together now. It's like you've like, even the people that haven't took action, it's like you've laid out the puzzle on the table. It's like it's time for people. The only thing they got to do is just, take action and make it happen, man. That's what it is.
There you go.
Wow.
And now we have a world-class forms dashboard.
Beautiful.
Like, this doesn't pull in the form name, but you could, or the,
Yeah.
I mean, so anything that you want to build, and then we could add that into our software. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the process. That's kind of where I see everything going. Ultimately, when you set up the private integration, all you're doing is creating an API key. Okay. I'm gonna delete my API key after that so nobody can use my forms. But ultimately, when you're doing that, you're just creating that API key. When you set up the marketplace process, this whole entire process is setting up that, creating the private integration process. So you are going through the hard part of setting up the scopes and all that stuff. And then all they have to do is click download in the store, and then it adds it to their software. The other way is they have to go and get their private integration key and build it in and do all that stuff. So you just have to decide, do you want to go this way, or this way? You're also able to do the modules and all these cool stuff with, like in the web widgets and all that other stuff inside here. So besides the API.
So can you add items that you're listing in the marketplace to your GoHighlevel account without listing it in the marketplace?
Yeah.
So like you could technically add the funnel builder to your GoHighlevel account, or not the funnel builder, but the funnel mapper, without setting it up in the store. You could just put in like a custom code probably.
Absolutely. So we just coded up this forms, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could go in here and I could into our little settings. If I turn it public, everybody on the My AI team platform could see it. Okay.
Right.
If you go through and you set up a custom domain, you can make it where your domain is set up and only you can see it with that domain. All right. So now I just set it up with a domain, and now I have a share link, right? I have this little share link right here, copy share link. Well, if I go into my GHL account and I go into my agency level, right? Switch to agency view. You could always at any time build software.
See, if I'm on a sub account, will I not be able to do it? Okay.
Now,
See,
if you are on a sub account and you create a developer account, just like what we did, and you know how you go through and you set up this little you set up the custom page.
Yeah.
The custom page is your solution.
Okay.
Because now it's going to give an install link, and that install link is going to install that custom page for them. Okay. So that's your way around it. If you own the GHL agency account, then inside here, you could add custom links only at the agency level. And then you just iframe it right in. So that's the menu links.
So how do you just to refresh me, how do you add something to that left column?
Through the custom menu links, or from
custom menu, I guess that'd be it. You just, okay, that's it. Custom menu, create new, post the URL.
And then you add new right here, and then you could pick an icon, right? So we'll just say form, right? Let's see what the any form icon looks like.
Okay, yeah, that made that pretty easy.
Totally easy. Yep. So now I could say, let's just add that little book. That looks kind of cool. All right, and then I could say form viewer, right? And then I could totally 1000% from this form dashboard, I could add this URL that we have, and then URL right here. And then what do you want to do? You want to iframe it. And then here it says sidebar preference. Do you want it in the agency sidebar or sub account sidebar? And then you can use all sub accounts or just certain sub accounts.
Okay.
I could say just my AI team, or I could say all, right? So, or you could say just certain ones when you own that agency account. Or you could exclude one. So like if you really don't like Sarah, right? Sarah definitely doesn't get one. She's not getting that. And then you could also say based off roles. So if they're a user or an admin, you could do that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Okay, I like how they did that.
And then magically it will.
I don't think that existed when I had it. Like back when I first started using it, I don't think that existed.
Yeah, so think about it. If you're a white label user, an owner, you can now expand your software that only you have access to for that software. Nobody else in the world has access to that software besides your monthly paying users at whatever, $97 or $500 or your second plan, whatever. You know what I mean? They could have access to the YouTube repurposed 9,000. You know what I mean? So, so yeah.
But even with my sub account, I should be fine setting up my my music course, right? I don't have to have an agency account for that.
Nope.
Okay, I didn't think so. I'm good.
Yep. And here's the thing: if like I said, call me whenever you're ready. Let me know, and I can't wait to build that out for you. So, like, I'm gonna stop sharing. Yeah, Joey. Like, we have. I'm not sure if you know. Let's just look at this, right?
8,000 to 9,000 people in that group. Is that what you're going to talk? Is that where you're going?
In that music group?
Yeah.
Right. We have in the AI music creator group, we have 22,000 people, Joey. Joey, we have 666 people join in the last week.
Holy shit. That's insane. That's a warm audience.
Dude, that's almost 100 a day joining AI music creators.
Right.
If we can make
that's what I'm saying, man. This like all these different music tools, I'm trying to like create a course and then create a site that offers all these music tools, like the Lyric Line Genie I made, where you can write a song one line at a time, you know. And then I've got I've got other ones like Rhyme Finder, where you can like put in a word and it gives you all these other words, like a random prompt generator, you know. So it's like a list of all these different tools, and then just we could give them to them for $10 a month. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So 1,000%. So I just dropped my affiliate link inside this. Okay. Inside this group for GoHighlevel. The reason why, check out this. I have Todd. He was on here a few minutes ago, right? He was a guy on here less than a month ago. Todd signed up for the GoHighlevel white label, and he's at 4 users at $97 a month. It's $500 a month to have the GoHighlevel white label, but it's a 2-week free trial. The reason why you're going to want to do this, think about this. If I build a software, let's just say that music visualizer, that music visualizer code? Yeah. You could add that into your software and you could just specialize in music, guys. And then for $97, everyone that has a music thing goes to you, and you have all the software for your music in there. And now you have what you said, the Lyric Genie, that one, like the freaking music visualizer. They could use it for free. It doesn't cost us a dime. Yeah. And they could use it. And it's like, that just makes your software stand out above everybody else. But you are selling the SaaS of GHL. So I had a client, he was paying $15,000 a month for software development. He hired me for 10 months straight. He has a GoHighlevel white label account. He literally is one of the top GoHighlevel white label agency owners. He has over $30,000 or 30,000 users paying $97 a month. Wow. He still pays $500 a month. He pays GoHighlevel $500 a month, and he has over 30,000 $97 monthly subscriptions to his software.
Wow. That's a lot. Isn't it like, wasn't it a 25% commission? Isn't that what it was?
It's 40% commission on the affiliate link. However, you get 100% of the sale for all of your users, Joey.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. He has a cost of $500. He has a profit of what? 50,000, like a freaking $300,000 a month. Like, dude, like, it is wild.
Yeah.
He is not the only one. He's not. Todd
Well,
had
I was trying to tell my buddy the other day that he was because he started his own travel agency, and I was like, what are you using for a CRM, you know? And I'm like, how are you, like blah blah blah. And he's like, I'm just using a spreadsheet right now. I gotta wait until I get some clients. I've only got 10 people I booked things for. And he was like, how much is it? And I was like, $100. And he acted like that was out of his price range for right now. He's like, when I get enough people and I'm making enough money, then yeah, we'll talk about that. So it was a hard sell for him, for me to try and put it on him. But I guess
that's a future sale.
Yeah.
That's all he's saying is, hey, once I see the value,
yeah,
and I know that I could take my $100 and I can make $200, then I'm willing to do it.
Right.
I haven't seen it yet. Once you actually set it up, I highly believe in this. My AI team is entirely built on GoHighlevel, on my white label.
You're gonna convert it all over to.
It's already done.
It's already done.
It's already done. The sales process, as far as the sales process and the course area and the affiliate program, it's all built on my white label already.
Okay, let me ask you the question I was going to ask you, and then I got to call this guy back. But so when I go to myaiteam.com, every time, let me see if it'll let me share my screen. I don't know if it will or not. I never hardly. Okay, so never mind. Okay, so yeah, every time I go to my AI team, I don't know, maybe this is how you want it, but I was just telling you, this is a little annoying to me. It's like I have to go down here and click the little login button on the bottom right to get in every time, and then it automatically logs me in. So I don't know if that's like a bug or if that's something that, or if that's what you want every time. Is that what it looks like if someone's not registered when they go to myaiteam.com?
Yes. I always just go to app.myaiteam.com.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. App.myaiteam.com will take you right in there as long as you're logged.
Well, that saves, that fixes it for me. I just didn't know if anybody else, had that problem.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm gonna fix this because I just kind of try to get it up and running.
Yeah.
But however, it's working on GHL now. Like there's upsells and downsells in that sales funnel process now. And
yeah,
it's wild. Like I love the sales funnel builder. Well, I'll try to make that a little easier for you next time too. So thank you for that feedback.
Yeah, no problem. And I think that if for somebody, I know it could be a year from now, but if he does start to travel, if he does start to turn this into something really good, he might get people to sign up underneath him as an agent, and then he could sell them a high level, then he could just sign everybody up underneath his, maybe that could be a play. Look, this is what you, and then you make it so easy for the person that comes on underneath you to just you steal all your funnels and all your forms and all your emails and all your text messages and all that stuff. And, but anyway, yeah, man, this was a great call. I'm glad we got to catch up.
Yeah. Me too.
And we'll do that music bit and knock it out of the park next week.
I can't wait. Heck yeah.
Because we got a warm audience of 20,000 people. And shoot, if we can fish 100 of them to give us $100 a month or, shoot.
That's just the website. But now you're talking about private one-on-one coaching. The group coaching was a thing, man. We were there.
Yeah.
It's only me that decided not to do it anymore. It wasn't that it was a bad product. I just stopped.
No.
Pop it open.
Yeah.
People would love that thing. There's so much. Literally, once you're ready, I'll help you build some sales funnels so we have upsells and downsells in your group coaching too. So I can't wait. Well, I can't wait. And I'll be an affiliate because I would love to promote that again. I'll promote it in that freaking group.
All right. All right, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Bye.
Have a good night. Bye.